Okay, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. This is the United Agenda. It's the big one. It's actually the big one. Manchester United versus Chelsea. This is the Manchester United versus Chelsea preview and other Manchester United news, general Manchester United news as well for the week. So, guys, we know it's not easy. It's not actually easy to be a Manchester United fan as it stands now. As a Manchester United fans, as a fan of Manchester United, it's not really easy for us. It has not been easy for us since Sir Alex Ferguson left his role or retired from Manchester United. It has never been easy for Manchester United fans. But however, as things stands now, as it stands now, it is even more, more chaos and more problem to someone who is supporting Manchester United. But we can't stop supporting our club. We can't actually stop supporting our football club because of the performance. Because if you are a United fan and you say Manchester United are no longer winning trophies, or they are no longer playing as Manchester United Football Club, and you because of the issues we are having now, and you switch to another club, that means you are not a football, you are not a football, you are not a United fan, you are not a Manchester United fan. You are just like a football person who just love to switch from here to another, jump from here to another. You are just okay, let me use it. You are just like a Nigerian politician. If you want to switch from this football club to another club, you are just the only place such thing happens is in Nigeria, and Nigerian politicians, that is how they behave, switching from one party to another party. But however, this is not a it's not about politics. This is about Manchester United and this is about football. So without wasting any of our time, we'll have to go into the news. After that loss to Man City last weekend, it has been floating around. United will sack Ineos are going to sack Amorim. Potential manager lineup, manager with potential managers after Ruben will be sacked, has already been brought out. The list is there already. To be honest, if you want me to give you my honest opinion about the situation we are now in Manchester, about Manchester United Football Club, in terms of what is happening in the field, in terms of Ruben Amorim and his players. First of all, I want to say that whatever we are doing, whatever the United fans are, whatever you think about Ruben Amorim, we are now divided into two sections. Some parts are Ruben Amorim out, and some part is still believing in Ruben Amorim. For me, I don't need to hide anything. I don't need to paint my words. I am still Ruben Amorim in. I am still Amorim in. It's okay for you to be Amorim out because you are a Manchester United fan. Your opinion matters. Really, really important. Your opinion matters. It's 100% okay for you to be Ruben Amorim out. Hence, you are a Manchester United fan. 100%. 100%. And you or me being Ruben Amorim in doesn't mean that I see you, who is Ruben Amorim out, like a clueless person or not a United fan. No, you're a United fan. Your opinion matters a lot. But I would want someone who is Ruben Amorim out to come for a debate. Let's go into the real issues about the problem Ruben Amorim is having as he stands now. I would love that debate to actually happen. But however, me being realistic about football, me being realistic on what is actually happening in Manchester United, what is actually happening about Ruben Amorim and his players. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean everything Ruben Amorim does is right. No, I always criticize him whenever he does the wrong thing. I always criticize him because me being Ruben Amorim in doesn't mean I will fall to his toes. No, I'm not like that. So, however, it was reported that from Ben Jacobs that the board are willing to back Ruben Amorim till the end. But however, Jim Ratcliffe thinks that the current squad is capable of getting the Champions League football or at worst an European football. With all due respect, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, what you did, this squad is as the same as the previous squad because we just got three attackers, or is it three attackers? Matthias Cunha, Brian Mbomo, and Benjamin Sesko. These are the three attackers we got. The main issue, so many of us during the transfer window was calling for a midfielder. We actually needed a midfielder. The problem we are actually having in that team is the midfield because Brian Mbomo is not going to score. He's not going to take the ball from the goalkeeper and run till the other end and score a goal. You have to take the ball from the defense to the midfield then before it gets to Brian Mbomo, before it gets to Sesko, before it can get to Cunha as well. The problem we are actually having, which the board knows, is that midfield area. Because that was the reason why they went for Carlos Baleba at the dying minute of that transfer window. Because if we never needed that midfield player, we wouldn't have gone for Carlos Baleba. But the board knew that we needed a player. We needed a midfielder. That was why they went for Carlos Baleba, which it didn't materialize. However, for me, so many of Manchester United fans has turned against Ruben Amorim system, against Ruben Amorim philosophy, against Ruben Amorim's style of play. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I want to be realistic here. We've actually played 4 games in the season. This season, we've played 4 games. We lost against Arsenal. We lost against Manchester City. Are Manchester City and Arsenal better than Manchester United? What is the answer? It's 100% yes. They are better than Manchester United. We drew against Fulham. Check the performance. If you actually watched that Fulham game, by first half, we could have been 3-0 up if we actually took our chances. We created enough chances to kill that game off. But we never did. We never took we never took our chances in that game. Against Burnley, the first half as well, we are supposed to be clinical enough to kill that game in the first half. What happens? We dragged it until the 9-minute penalty. You can't tell me that the style of play is the problem if you are watching football. You can't tell me the formation is the problem. You can't tell me Amorim's philosophy is the problem. However, the place I'm actually hitting hard on Amorim is playing Bruno Fernandes in that double pivot. That is where I am 100% against Ruben Amorim. I don't care about his formation. That formation has been used and someone used it in winning a league, the Premier League, before. Give me prime N'Golo Kante. Just N'Golo Kante. Give me N'Golo Kante. Prime, that N'Golo Kante that played for Chelsea, that played for Conte. Give me that N'Golo Kante. And Ruben, play N'Golo Kante with Kobe Menu. I don't want Matic. I don't want Matic. Give me prime N'Golo Kante. That N'Golo Kante that played for Conte. Give me that N'Golo Kante. And Ruben, play Kobe Menu with N'Golo Kante in that double pivot. And tell me why this football will, as in the formation, will not change. N'Golo Kante played with Matic and they won that league. I don't want Matic. Just give me N'Golo Kante, that prime N'Golo Kante that played for Conte, that period. That N'Golo Kante that they were singing N'Golo Kante, N'Golo Kante. Give me that Kante and give me Kobe Menu. They should play in that double pivot. And tell me why our football will not change. That was the reason Ruben Amorim was pushing for Carlos Baleba. I'm not saying that Carlos Baleba is up to N'Golo Kante's standard when he was playing for Chelsea, but they look a little bit similar. They were, as in N'Golo Kante is a horsepower midfielder. He runs from pole to pole. He never gets tired. I don't know about Carlos Baleba, but all I know about Carlos Baleba is he's physical and he's quicker. Carlos Baleba is quicker than Kobe Menu. He's quicker than Casemiro. He's quicker than Manu Ugarte and Bruno as well. He's faster than them. He's quicker than them. He has strength, as in he's physical than these players. The whole of our midfield. Carlos Baleba is physical and faster and quicker than all of them. Tell me why this formation will not work if we get a player like N'Golo Kante or Carlos Baleba and pair him with Kobe Menu. Pair Carlos Baleba with Kobe Menu or pair the prime N'Golo Kante with Kobe Menu and see why. Let me see why this football, this our style of play will not work. The place I'm actually blaming Ruben Amorim, the place I'm actually criticizing him the more is I'm asking, why are you playing Bruno Fernandes in that double pivot? I actually want to know. Bruno is not physical. Bruno is not fast. He doesn't read. He doesn't see his, as in, mark the people, the players, as in, he doesn't track his runners. Bruno doesn't track his runners. If you can't play Bruno Fernandes in his main position, which is that number 10 role, no need of him staying in that pitch. That is the only place I'm blaming Ruben Amorim. If you can't play Bruno Fernandes in that number 10 role, don't just bring him in. Don't just put him in that starting lineup. Don't tell me anything about him being the captain. I don't care about Bruno being the captain of the football club. He's supposed to be in the. Don't tell me anything like that. I don't care. If you are not going to put him in that number 10 role, no need of him being in the pitch. Just keep him in the bench. That is the place I'm actually blaming Ruben Amorim. Don't bring him in at all if you are not going to play him in that free role, that number 10 role. That is the actual place I'm blaming Ruben Amorim. However, so many of United fans have been calling for the sack of Ruben Amorim. That midfield three, Casemiro. Okay, let me call it a midfield four. Casemiro, Manu Ugarte, Kobe Menu, and Bruno Fernandes. 4 of these players played for Erik ten Hag. What was the problem? Why did Erik ten Hag got sacked? It was because of that midfield. Ten Hag was playing a 4-3-3 formation. So many of us, United fans, I don't know, is it that we forget so easily? I don't know if it's because we forget things so easily. That is why we could not remember that Erik ten Hag played that midfield three of Kobe Menu, Casemiro, and Bruno Fernandes, and Manu Ugarte as well. Because it was Ten Hag that bought Ugarte. What happened? That midfield actually sacked Erik ten Hag because every game we played under Ten Hag, I never saw where our midfield dominated any team. That midfield was open. It was widely open. Reasons. Casemiro is a very good defensive midfielder, but he is old. I'm sorry to say it. Casemiro is old. You can't expect a midfielder who is at the age of 23, 24, who still has strength in him. You can't expect Casemiro to compete with such midfielder. Even if he has the same pace, the same speed with Casemiro, Casemiro cannot still compete with that midfield. Kobe Menu, fantastic player, very good player. He is slow. He is actually slow in that midfield. If you want to play Kobe Menu in that midfield, you need a player who is quick enough or a player who doesn't care going forward, who will just sit back there and tell his forward or his other midfield players, move front, move forward. I am not gonna move further ahead. Let me sit here. And such players are no longer in this period because I could remember when I was watching when I was still when I started watching football. I remember Makalele at Chelsea. I remember John Mikel Obi when he was playing for Chelsea. These players, they don't care about moving forward. They prefer to sit in that midfield and do the dirty work. Yes. That was what I thought Manu Ugarte. That was what I thought we brought Manu Ugarte in for. But he is not living up to what we expected from him. So that midfield is actually our. We need a horsepower midfield. I've been saying it. We need a horsepower midfielder who will walk helter skelter. That is what we are lacking in that our midfield. Kobe Menu is a fantastic player. This guy, he can collect the ball from the defenders and move forward. That is the actual place I love Kobe Menu's football. He is strong. That ball on his feet, he never misplaced passes anyhow, unlike Bruno. He never loses the ball anyhow, unlike Bruno. His foot magnets the football. That is where I love Kobe Menu. That is the football part of him I actually enjoy watching. So you can't tell me that you want Ruben Amorim to get a Champions League football without giving him a fantastic or a horsepower midfielder. To be honest, if United gets Champions League football, it's actually a miracle. I don't see Manchester United getting Champions League football or even European football with what I've seen this season for these 4 games. So, guys, we have to be realistic. I know sometimes we as United fans, we do overreact. We do overreact. But if you are a Manchester United fans, you are free to overreact because this is your football club. It's 100% okay for you to overreact because it's your football club. So that is it for the news about Ruben Amorim, his sack, and his players, and I'm being realistic. So now we are going to go into the Man United versus Chelsea preview. Yes, I will give you guys my starting lineups and score prediction, even though I don't know what we are going to get in this match on Saturday. In the goal, I will put Lamens there. Lamens will start for me. I don't care about Otta Bienda. He's not a good goalkeeper. He needs to stay in the bench. There are 3 players who are going to sack Ruben Amorim. You see Bruno Fernandes. 3 players who are going to sack Ruben Amorim. You see Bruno Fernandes. If Amorim continues playing him in that double pivot, he will sack Ruben Amorim. You see Otta Bienda. If Ruben Amorim keep picking Bienda instead of using Lamens, Bienda will get him sacked. Number 3, if you keep benching Kobe Menu, putting him in that bench, keeping him in the bench, you will get sacked. This is the 3 things that is going to sack Ruben Amorim. Always picking Bruno in that double pivot, not giving Kobe Menu the chance to play, and always picking Otta Bienda. These 3 things is going to sack Ruben Amorim. That is the 3 things that will sack Ruben Amorim. Clip me on this one. So my starting lineups against Chelsea will be Lamens in goal, Mazarawi, Matthias de Ligt, and Luke Shaw in my center backs. I will give Lenny Yoro some rest. I will rest him. So I'll be going with that 3. My double pivot will be Kobe Menu and Casemiro. Hear me out. Kobe Menu and Casemiro. That will be my double pivot. My left wing and my right wing will be Patrick Dogu and Amad Diallo. Patrick Dogu and Amad Diallo. My 2 10s, since Matheus Cunha is injured and Mason Mount is injured, my 2 10s will be Bruno Fernandes and Brian Mbomo. Bruno Fernandes and Brian Mbomo. Then my striker is Benjamin Sesko. He has to play. He needs more game. He needs more game. So this is how I will line up against Chelsea. Lamine Singo. My 3 center backs, Mazarawi, Matthias de Ligt, and Luke Shaw. My double pivot, I'm hitting hard on that double pivot. My double pivot will be Casemiro and Kobe Menu. Left wing and right wing, Ahmad and Patrick Dogu. 2 10s, Bruno Fernandes and Brian Mbomo. Then my striker will be Benjamin Sesko. This is how I would line up against Chelsea. But we all know that Amorim is a very stubborn coach. He would want to play Bruno Fernandes in that double pivot. And like as I said earlier, that's what is going to sack him. My score prediction, I don't actually trust these players. That is just the most important thing. I don't trust them. Give me a draw, I will take it. Give me a draw, I will take it. If by eventually we win Chelsea, fantastic. But what I will not accept is a lose. I will not accept that. Give me a draw as it stands now, I will take it. If we should win that game, fantastic. What I will not accept is losing to Chelsea. That is it for me, for the preview and for the news as well. General Manchester United news for the week. So, guys, what do you actually think about what I said about the sack of Ruben Amorim, about his players, about his philosophy, about his formation? Tell me that in the comment section. I want us to debate on it. Don't forget as well, if you want us to have a chat, if you want us to collaborate, just send me an email on cantonaeric981@gmail.com. cantonaeric981@gmail.com. We can have a debate. We can have a live debate, and we can even do the watch along together. So, guys, what do you think about the news? Tell me what you think in the comment section, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Until we meet in the next one. One love.